A TV!
You can turn it on.
This one, please.
Hey guys, welcome to Homework Help for Year 5, Term 3, Week 9. On page 5. Question 1. In how many ways can 6 boys stand in a line if 2 boys want to stand together? Alright, so imagine we have the boys A, B, C, D, E, F. Now suppose we want 2 people to be together, doesn't matter who, let's just choose A and B, they want to be together. So instead of having 6 people, we're going to consider AB to be 1 person. So you're going to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's only 5 people. Every time we move A, we have to move B together. So they're kind of considered to be like a 1 unit, 1 person kind of thing. Okay. So normally we have 6 positions, but now there's only 5 positions. So look like this. So how many people can we put into the first one? You can have A, B. Actually, let me write it like this. Or you could have C, or you could have D, you could have E, or F. Okay, A, B is together. So that means there are, this is the first position, second, third, fourth, and fifth. So for the first position, there's 5 possible people you can put in there. For the second one, there's only 4, because once 1 person goes into the first position, there's only 4 can go in the second position, and then so on as 3, 2, and 1. And how do we get the total number of possible ways? We just multiply them. 5 times 4 will be 20. 2 times 3 will be 6. So 20 times 6 times 1 will just be 120 ways. Alright. Now, this is what happens if we have A and B together like that. But you have to understand that we can mix these people around. So we could say this could be B and then this could be A. So there's this combination as well. Now when you have A and B together like this, you're going to have 120 possible ways. And then if you switched from B to A, you're going to have another set of 120 possible ways. So that means together we have to add 120 plus 120, and that makes 240 possible ways. If that makes sense. Because we're switching A and B around. When you switch it around and then you move you move A and B around like this to different positions, that's considered another new set of possibilities. Okay, so you're going to get another 120 possibilities, so 240. So the working out for this will be something like this. You're going to have 5 times 4 times 3 times 2 times 1. And then this is for what happens if you have AB. If A was first and then B was second. But if you have B was first and then A was second, you're going to have another set of possibilities. Okay, 5 times 4 times 3 times 2 times 1. This is 120. This is 120. Add together, 240 ways. Alright, question 2. A certain sum of money is divided between 3 boys, so that for each $3 the first boy receives, the second boy gets $4, and the third boy gets $5. If they share $720, how much did the boys who got the boy who got the least received? Okay, so together all the boys have $720. So let's have a look at this question. We got let's say A, B, and C. If the first person, let's say A receives $3, let's say he's the one that receives the least amount of money. If he gets $3, the second boy should get $4, and then the third boy should have $5. Now if the first person gets another $3, so that makes a total of $6, the second boy should have another $4, and that'll be 8. And the third boy should have another $5, which will be 10. And let's keep going. If the third excuse me, if the first person gets another $3, so that makes $9. The second one should get another $4, so that makes $12. And the third boy should get another $5, should be $15. So as you can see, this is a ratio question. The simplest ratio is 3, 4, and 5. Okay. What that means is that these numbers down here, this is 3. This will be, I'm going to color this in blue. This will be 3 times something. In this case, it'll be 3. This will be 3 times. Sorry, not 3. This will be 4 times something. In this case, it'll be 3. And this will be 5 times something. Again, this will be 3. Okay. Now, what the question is asking, that if we keep adding like this one, right, we're going to get some amount here. This will be 3 times, whoops, some amount down the line. And then we're going to add these numbers up. Now, this will be 4 lots of something down here. And this will be 5 lots of something. By the way, these lots of something, they're all the same numbers. They're not different numbers. Now, we're going to add these up. And the total of all 3 boys, we should get $720. Now let's have a think about this. So 3 lots of this amount, plus 4 lots of it, plus 5 lots of it. So really, if we want to do like using the quick method, we can say, well, you got 3 lots of that amount, plus 4 lots of that amount, plus 5 lots of that amount. So really, you're going to get 3 plus 4 plus 5 lots of that amount. And that's going to give you your $720. Now 3 plus 4 plus 5 is 12 lots of that. So 3 lots plus 4 lots plus 5 lots makes 12 lots. 12 lots of the same amount, and that's going to equal to $720. So 12 times something is 720. So how do we find the something? Well, we just do 720 and we divide it by 12 and we get how much each box represents. Okay. So let's do this quick one. Whoops. So we got 72 divided by 12. That will give me 6. And then you got a 0 here, so that makes 60. Okay, so that means that this box here, whoops, is 60. So to get 720, we must do 3 times 60 plus 4 times 60 plus 5 times 60. And that'll be 720. So the question is, how much did the boy who got the least receive? So the boy who got the least was this amount here. So 3 times 60, and that'll give me $180. Okay. Next question. 11 people at the party all shook hands with each other. How many handshakes were there? Well, we know the formula is we're going to do the number of people. We start with the number of people, so that's 11 times how many people can 11 people handshake with? Well, only 10. Okay, because the like one person cannot handshake with himself. You can't have 11 times 11. So, right? So therefore, you can only do 11 times 10. Now we have to divide this number by 2 as the last step. And the reason we do this is because when you do 11 times 10, you're double counting the amount of handshakes. So what I mean is that like this. Imagine if you have two, let's say 2 people handshake together. If I do A handshake with B, and then I do B handshakes with A, that's the same handshake, isn't it? It's not 2 separate handshakes. It's the same thing. So even though it looks like there's 2, but really there's only 1. This counts as 1 handshake. And you're gonna get that when you do 10 times 11. You're gonna get that all the time. You're gonna have, let's say there was 11 people. So let's say I have another person called C and D. When they handshake, you're gonna have C handshake with D, and then you're gonna have D handshake with C. This counts as another only 1, not 2 handshakes. So even though there's, let's look at this one, right? There's 4 handshake, but really there's only 2. Okay, so that's the reason we divided by 2, because of the double count. So we have, actually I'll let you work that out on your own. You can do that. It's an easy question. Let's go to the next page and look at question 4. A family decided to sell their house worth $17,000 and purchase a farm costing $21,000. Their house was sold at 10% less than it was worth. How much more did they need to purchase the farm? Okay, so you have the house. Here's your house. Okay, and this house is worth $17,000, but it was sold. It was sold for less than that. At how much less? Well, it was sold for 10% less. So let's find out what 10% less is, how much that is. So first we need to do 10% of $17,000. Now 10%, I'm going to put this in blue now, is 10 over 100. Of means times. 17,000 is 17,000. Because we're multiplying fraction, we're going to put it into a fraction and turn it into over 1. Now let's start crossing out the, let's start simplifying this. Okay, so we can cross out 1 from the top, 1 0 from the top, 1 from the bottom, 1 from the top, 1 from the bottom. So really you're going to get 1 times 1,700, so 1,700 over 1 times 1 is 1. And this is, we know, is going to be a whole number. So this is amount to $1,700. So 10% of $17,000 is $1,700. And it says 10% less. So that means you're going to take $1,700 away from how much it was worth. And then you're going to get the sale price, how much this house was sold for. So let's work this out. You got 0, 0. This is going to get 3. You're going to get 2. This would be 5 and 1. So that means the house was sold for $15,300. This is your 10% less, okay? Now, we want to buy the farm, but the farm costs $21,000. And we have $15,300. So how much more money do we need to get to $21,000? Oops. What did I do? Oops. Oh no. Okay, never mind. Alright. So, what are we going to do? We're going to do a still subtraction. We're going to do $21,000. Take away 15,300. Because we want to find a difference between these two numbers, and that'll give us the number that we need, the extra amount that we need to purchase the farm. Now let's do this. It'll be 0, 0. Actually, I'll leave it to you. You can work that out, and that should be the answer there. Okay. Alright, question 5. In a game of Ludo, what are your chances out of 36 of throwing a pair of dice and scoring an 8? Okay. Now I don't know what Ludo is. Haven't played that game before, but it doesn't really matter. We have 2 dice. When you throw the 2 dice, what's all the possible combinations we can get? So first of all, how many for the first dice, what's the possible numbers we can get? It can be anything from 1 to 6. So there's 6 possible numbers we can get for the first dice, and then you're gonna get 6 possible numbers for the second dice. So we can have repeated numbers, right? And how to get the total number of all the possible combinations, we multiply them together, we're going to get 36 combinations. So that's the reason why it says out of 36. Okay, I'll give you an example of what I mean by this. So let's look at the first one. The first one, you might get a 1, or 2, or 3, or 4, or 5, or 6. Now, if you get a 1 for the first one, what can you get for the second one? You can get a 1, you can get a 2, 3, 4, 5, or 6. So you can get all of these. So if I write it out, you can get something like, you might get a 1 and a 1, or 1 and a 2, 1 and a 3, 1 and a 4, 1 and a 5, 1 and a 6. Or if the first dice you roll was a 2, you're going to get a 2 on a 1, 2 and a 2, 2 and a 3, 2 and a 4, and so on. Okay. And as you can see, there's 6 of this, 6 of this, and so on. There's 36 possible combinations. Now, the question is, when you throw the 2 dice, we want the 2 dice to add up to a score of 8. So, which 2 numbers will add up to 8? So you have to think, okay, which 2 pair of dice results will add up to 8? Okay. This only adds up to 2, to 4, and so on. So you have to work it out. Alright, so let's have a look here. Imagine if the first dice, you throw a 1. Can we throw a 1? If the first dice is a 1 and we want to get a result of 8, okay, that means the second dice has to be a 7, right, to get a result of 8. And we know that the dice does not have 7 numbers, it only has 6 numbers, so we can't have the first one being a 1. Can the first one be a 2? Yes, because if the first one was a 2, the second one has to be a 6 to make a total of 8. So 2 and 6 works. Alright, let's continue down. 3, 4, 5, and 6. If the first one was, the first roll of the rice was a 3, the second one has to be a 3, and you can keep going down here. Oops, not 3, sorry, this is a 5. Okay, that was and then this will be a 4, 3, and a 2. So how many possible ways can we get to an 8 using the 2 dice? Well, as you can see here, there is only 5 possible ways. Okay, these are all, I just listed all of them there. So you got 5. So if you want to, now the question is, what are your chances? When you're asking to find the probability or the chance, you have to put it, mostly we put into a fraction. So we say, okay, to put it, we have to, the answer is going to be like a fraction. The top number is going to be all possible outcomes resulting in an 8, and the bottom one will be all combinations total. Okay, so what it means is the answer is going to be, well, there's the top number is going to be a 5 because there's only 5 ways to get to an 8, and the bottom number, all the possible combinations, there's 36 combinations. So the answer is 5 out of 36. That's your chances. 5 out of 36 is yeah, it's not too high, but that's your chances. All right, I'm gonna rub this out. Make some room for the next question. So the answer for that one will be 5 over 8. 36. Sorry, not over 8. There you go. All right, question number 6. To enclose a square plot of land with each side 40 meters, posts were placed 2 meters apart with a post at each corner. How many posts are needed to enclose the plot? Alright, so suppose you have a square plot of land, so let me just draw that real quick. Imagine that's a square. It's not a perfect one, but alright. Now we know that the distance for each side is 40 meters. Alright. And we also know that at each corner of this plot of land, there's a post. So the blue dots represent the posts. Now the question is, how many posts do we need altogether? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to figure out how many numbers of posts I'm going to need between these two posts. So there's already 2 posts. Let's see how many we need. So let's work it out. We have a distance of 40 meters. Okay, and then the gap distance, the posts were placed 2 meters apart. That means that this is the gap distance. Okay, so we have to divide 40 by the gap distance, which is 2, and that gives me 20. Now this means 20 gaps are going to be between these 2 posts. If there are 20 gaps, there's going to be 21 posts. There's always one more gap than the number of posts. Okay, so what that means is this: there's 21 posts all here. Now we already have 2 posts, so 21 take away 2, you're going to get 19 posts. That means that between these 2 posts there are 19 posts. So like this. Excuse me. Okay, so there are 19 posts between that. which means, and this is a square, right? So that means there's going to be another 19 posts here, and another 19 posts here, another 19 posts here. So let's add them all up. We got 4 lots of 19. Okay, plus with, so 4 lots of 19 plus with the posts on the corners, which we haven't included yet, so we're going to add another 4. Alright, and you work out what the answer to that is. Question 7. Tammy, Lewis and Sophie go out one night. They bought a movie ticket costing $19.20, a meal cost $19.20, and a meal costing $8.40 each. Okay, each. Tram tickets costing $3.15 and ice cream costing a total of $4.80. If they share all expenses equally, how much did it cost each person? Okay, so the movie ticket was paid together, and it was $19.20. So what we're going to do is we're going to add all these costs up, and then we can divide it by 3 people. So $19.20 was for the total of 3 people. Then you're gonna add with $8.40 each for the meal. So $8.40 times it by 3. Let's work out what that is. This will be let me see, 0. This will be 12. This will be 24, 25, 24, 20. And let's add these up. So that'll be 25.20 plus with the 19.20. Plus with the 3.15 and the 4.80. These are all added together. Let's see what we get. This will be a 5. This will be 13. 9. Yeah, 13. This will be 15. 19. 19 plus 3 is 22. Okay, and this will be a 5. So together, they paid, all 3 of them, $52.35. Now we're going to divide this number by 3. Okay, because there's 3 people, we want to split the bill, all of the costs evenly. So let's divide it by 3. And let's see what we get. 5 divided by 3. Actually, you know what? I'll let you do this. You should be able to do this one on your own. Okay, it's gonna be, let me see, I'll just do quickly the first one for you. This will be a 1, this will be a 3, 22 divided by 3 should be 7, should be $17 something, so work it out. This will be the minus, alright, you can keep going with that. I'm just gonna leave it to the next question. Question 8. The total bus fare for 3 adults and 2 children is $15. If the children's fare was $1.65 each, how much is each adult fare? Okay. So we had 2 children, and each of them had to pay $1.65. So 2 times 165. I can put it in red now. Alright, this will be 30. Oh, sorry, 10. Sorry. 2 times 6 is 12. Plus 1 is 13. This will be a 3. $3.30. Now, if you take away, so $15. Take away $3.30, this will leave you with all the adult tickets total. Okay, 0, this will be a 7, this will be a 4, this will be a 1 and 1. So it's gonna cost, so all the adults had to pay $11.70. There's 3 adults. So to get each adult ticket price, so really you have 3, you have here. This is all the adult tickets. Okay, and you have the, whoops, you have the children's ticket. There's only 2 of them, and each of them was $1.65, which makes a total of $3.30. So $15 take, because the total of the children ticket and adult ticket were $15. So 15 taken away $3.30. That means the 3 adult tickets must cost $11.70, and if you do $11.70 divided by 3, you're going to get the cost of 1 adult ticket, and that's what the question is asking us. How much is each adult fare? So divided by 3, get the answer there. Question 9. 7% of Steve's yearly salary is $2,300. month and $30. How much is his yearly salary? Well, we know that 7% of his money is $2,030. Now we want to get to 100%. We want to find out how much his yearly salary is, the total. So from 7% to 100%, that's pretty tricky. So instead of doing that, let's go from 7 to 1%. So that means we have to divide this by 7 and we have to divide this by 7. Alright, so 2030 divided by 7, you're going to get 20 divided by 7 gives me 2. That'll be 14, this will be a 6. Bring the 3 down, 63 divided by 7 is a 9. 6 times 9 is 63. 0, 0, and that should be 0. So that means this will be $290. Now you want to get to 100%. Well, we just multiply this by 100 and get the answer. Okay, moving on to the next question. Question 9. If 9 exercise books costs $12.33, what's the cost of 5 exercise books? So 9 exercise books is going to cost you $12.33. Question is, how much does 5 cost? So why don't we get to 1 exercise book first? So divide it by 9, divide this by 9, and then from 1 to 5 times it by 5, and then times it by 5. So do 1233 divided by 9 first. Whatever answer you're going to get here, okay, you're going to get that answer and you're going to multiply it by 5 and get the actual final answer. Alright, question 11. Quench cool drink is sold in 4 different sizes. What is the best buy? Okay, so to find the best buy, we need to see these are all at different units. So let's change it to the same units so we can compare them. Let me see, what will be the same unit for all of this? Maybe we can make them all into $1.5 liters, because I can turn this into 1.5 liters by multiplying by 2. I can turn this into 1.5 by multiplying by 3, and this one times it by let me see, by 6. So if we multiply these units by its the correct number, we're going to have all of them to be 1.5 liters, and then we can compare the prices. Now if you multiply this by 6, you're going to multiply this by 6, so 6 times 85 cents. 6 times 85, 6 times 5 is 30, 6 times 8 is 48, plus 3 is 51. So that's going to be 510 cents. Okay, so for this one, you're going to have, that'll be $5.10. Now the next one, you times it by 3. So $1.4646 times 3. 3 times 6 is 18. 3 times 4 is 12, plus 1 is 13. 3 then 4. $4.38. This will be $4.38. Alright. Next one, times it by 2, and this one just leave it as it is because it's already 1.5 liters. This one will be $4.26. Multiply the second one by 2 and then work out which one is the better buy. You can do that yourself. Now question 12. Find the 2 numbers that multiply to give 40, and the 2 numbers must also add to 13. Okay, so we know it adds to 13. This is a good clue to use. So we're going to think of 2 numbers to add to 13. So let's have a look. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Now let's just have a look at this one. How to get to 13? If the first number was a 1, the second has to be a 12. This will be 11. Okay. Next one. I'm just going to draw a table actually. This will be a 10, 9, 8, 7, and then 6. Okay. I'm not going to continue with the next one because 8 is just 5. This is the same as that one. Okay, so there's no point going further, and even so we don't have to worry about that. And also 6 and 7 and 6 is the same thing. Okay, so it doesn't really matter. This is so really you only have these combinations. So look at which 2 numbers add to 13 and which one of the 2 numbers multiply to give me 40. So there's only 6 numbers you need to guess and check, and they're pretty quick. You can do that yourself. Question 13. In how many ways can 4 boys stand in a line if 2 wants to stand next to each other? Again, we have this question. So you have A, B, C, D, 4 people. 2 people want to stand next to each other. Alright. So really, we consider these 2 people 1 person. So we can have 4, nope, sorry. We can have, how many people can stand here? You're going to have 1, 2, 3. This will be 3. And then if 1 person stands in the first position, who can stand in the second position? Well, there's only 2. And then this will be a third position, and that'll be 1. So that'll be times. That means there's 6 possible ways. But remember, A, B can be switched, so we can have B, A. Okay, so then we have to multiply this 2 by, this 6 by 2, because we have another set of 6. So this will give you 6 possible ways, and then this will give you another 6 possible ways. So you got to times it by 2, 12 possible ways to arrange them. Okay, 9 people at the party all shook hands, so you're going to do 9 times 8 divided by 2, get the answer there. Question 15. A farmer has goats and hens. There are 22 heads and 60 legs altogether. How many goats are there? Okay, so we know the number of goats. We got the goats and the hens. And we have the number of heads and the number of legs. Alright, so there are 22 heads, so that means that this is the total here. You need to have a total of 22. And there are 60 legs altogether. Okay, now the number of goats have 4 legs, so whatever number of heads, however number of goats, let's say there's 2 goats, you multiply by 4, it'd be 8 legs, so you multiply by 4. And the hens only have 2 legs. Okay, so suppose you have, we have to make sure these out of the 22, the number of heads, each goat and hen only has 1 head. Okay, so if you said, for example, the number was 10 and this is 12, these two add to 22, right? Then you gotta put 10 and 12 in here, and that'll be 40 plus, what is this, 24? Does that give me 60? No, give me close to 60. So you gotta do guess and check. It's not 10 and 12. You gotta guess other numbers and see what you get to get 60. Alright, leave that to you. You get, I'm going to the next page. Alright, this is revision questions. So this one divided by 5, you're going to do long division. That'll be 60, let me see here, whoops. Yep. So that'll be 67.5, divide that by 5 and get the answer. Now this one, you're adding fractions, so make sure the bottom numbers are the same. This is 10, I can make this one turn into a 10, times it by 2, times it by 2. So really you have 9 over 10 plus with 6 over 10, and you get the answer there. Next question, question 3. You multiply, let's first move decimal place to the right. 1, 2, 3. So altogether we moved the decimal place 3 times to the right. So the answer has to be moved 3 times back to the left, okay? So now instead of doing that, these two multiply, I'm going to do 6 times 4. Because when I move the decimal to the right, they turn to whole numbers now. 6 times 4 equals 24. Now, the decimal place is always after the last digit. Now we're going to have to move that decimal place back 3 times, okay? So, let me put a couple zeros in here, see where it lands. So 1, 2, 3 lands right there, so the answer is 0.024. Alright, next one, you're going to add these decimal, question 4, add these decimals up. So make sure, if when you want to add these, that the decimal lands in the right position. So this, you see the 6 is a whole number, so decimal's right after the 6, so let's put a 0 here, as decimal there. And then 0.22. See, decimal is lined up in a column like that. Add them up and get the answer. Alright, next one. Excuse me. Alright, next one we're just doing decimal subtraction. So just do that, minus 0.44. Now this one has nothing here, so we put a 0 there. Minus, get the answer. Now to question 6, to add these, what we're going to do is we're going to turn this one into improper fraction. To turn it improper fraction, we take the whole number, multiply it to the bottom, and then add the top. So 3 times 6 is 18. 18 plus 1 is 19. That's the top number. Now the bottom number is going to be the 6. Just like that one, just like this one here. And then you're going to add with 3 on 5. So you can add that yourself. Again, change to improper fraction. You're going to get 1 times 5 is 5 plus 2 is 7. 7 on 5 times it by 3 on 8. Work it out. Next question is divide. Again, you have a mixed numeral, so let's change it to improper fraction. 4 times 2 is 8. 8 plus 1 is 9, so we say 9 over 2 divided by 3 on 5. Just remember that we're dividing fractions here, so make sure to flip this upside down and change it to a times. Okay, 9 on 2 times it by 5 on 3, and you can work it out. Make sure you simplify it as well. You can simplify it like this. You can say, okay, 9 and 3. We can just divide them both by 3. This will be a 1, this will be a 3. So multiply together, you're going to get 15 on 2. And you can just leave the answer like that if you want. Question 9. Increase 800 by 6%. So first we need to find out what 6% of 800 first. And then we're going to increase it, we're going to add it to 800. So 6% is 6 over 100 of means times, 800 is 800 over 1. And now we can start simplifying. Crossing out the zeros, 1 from the top, 1 from the bottom, 1 from the top, 1 from the bottom. So 6 times 8 is 48 over 1 times 1 is 1. 48 over 1 is just 48. Okay, so we're going to increase 800, we're going to increase it by 6%, which is a 48. You can get the answer there. Question 10. Find the amount if 30% is $42. So 30% of some amount is $42. Now the question is, what is the whole amount? Find the whole amount. So find 100% of amount. How much is that equal to? So to get from 30 to 100, that's kind of tricky. We have to multiply by 3 point something, I'm not sure. So instead of doing 30 to 100, let's do 30 to 10%. So we divide it by 3. Okay, divided by 3. And then from 10 we can go to 100 by multiplying by 10. And then we multiply this one by 10. So 10% of amount, you can get that by dividing 42 by 3. And then to get to 100%, you have to multiply this number by 10. Question 11. How many years in 4 scores and 3 years? Just remember that 1 score is equal to 20 years. And then you can say, okay, well that's 4 times 20, 4 lots of 20 years plus another 3 years. Work it out. Question 12. Change 65% into a simple fraction. Okay, so first we change it into a normal fraction, which is we put the percentage over 100. Now all we got to do is simplify it. So make it as simple as possible. Divide it by something. I suggest 5. And get the answer there. Now next one says change 5 over 9 into a percentage to the nearest whole number. Now I'm gonna give you a shortcut. 1 over 9 is equal to 0.11111 repeating forever. Okay, forever repeating. Now 2 over 9 would be what? Will be double of this, so it'll be 0.2222 and so repeating. 3 over 9, what's that? 0.33333. So imagine what 5 over 9 looks like. 5 over 9, which would be 0.55555 and so on, right? Now we want to turn into a percentage because he's asking us for percentage, so we must multiply this number, this decimal, multiply 100 to get to percentage. So you multiply by 100 and what happens? Well, the decimal is here. It's going to jump 2 spaces to the right. So it's going to be 55.5555 and so on percent. Now it says to the nearest whole number, to the nearest percentage. So that's going to be equal to 56% because this is a 5. The next, the closest to percentage will be 56%. Okay, there's your answer. This one, multiply that. This one divided by that is real easy. You should be able to do that. Multiply by 10, move decimal to the right. Divided by 10, move the decimal back to the left and get the answer. Alright, next page. Alright. After morning announcement, Mrs. DuPont asked the students to check the lost and found box during their breaks. Michelle, Jason, and Benjamin were looking for a purple mitten, a ski hat, and a windbreaker. Sort through the clues to determine who found what missing item and when. Okay, so we need to... Now it says Jason, Benjamin went to Lost and Found as soon as they finished lunch, and retrieved a ski hat and a missing missing purple mitten. So we know that Benjamin and Jason got the ski hat and the mitten. We don't know who got what, but we know that that's what they got. And they did it as soon as they finished lunch. So as soon as they finished lunch, that means that it's these ones here. Okay, so that means that Jason and Benjamin, they did it after lunch. So that means that the only person who did it in the morning must be Michelle. And also they got the purple mitten and the ski hat, which means the person who got the windbreaker must be Michelle. So we tick that. Now last clue says Jason has never owned a pair of purple mittens. Jason has never owned a pair of purple mittens, which means that if Jason didn't get the purple mittens, he must have gotten the ski hat. Alright, so which means that the Benjamin got the purple mitten. Now, lunch break. Oh, this is both lunch breaks, so that means that you can just put like that. Doesn't matter. Or you can put it like this, because it both says lunch break. It's the same thing. It's not different. Okay. So I like to do this because it looks symmetrical. Looks better. Now. That's that one done. Let's look at the next one. Bookmark designers. Miss Rowe, the librarian, held a contest for students to design bookmarks that they would be given to anyone checking out a library book. Shannon, Laura, and Robert had winning designs. Their bookmarks featured a rainbow of books, a pyramid of authors, and a garden of blooming books. Miss Rowe had them printed on gold, green and pink papers. Check out the clues to find out which student designed which bookmarks. Okay. Now the first clue says the girl. Alright, so since it's mentioning girls and boys, let's just establish who's a girl and who's a boy with these names. Shannon must be a girl. I assume it's a girl. Laura must also be a girl, and Robert is probably a boy. Alright, now the girl who designed the rainbow bookmark. So the girl who designed, that means rainbow bookmark cannot be a boy, so it cannot be Robert. It has to either be Shannon or Laura. Let's see. The girl who designed the rainbow bookmark and the girl whose bookmark was printed on gold. So that means that Robert can't be the one who did gold because that's for one of the girls. Both stayed for the after school play program. Okay. The pyramid bookmark was printed on gold paper. Oh, okay. So that means that Roberts could not have been the one to get the pyramid because the pyramid was on the gold paper, and the gold paper can't be Roberts. It has to be one of the girls, right? So that means that Robert cannot be the one who had got the pyramid. So that means that Robert got the gold. The garden. Okay. Now we got that. Alright, what else do we have? Laura did not design the rainbow. Laura did not design the rainbow. Now the rainbow, there's only two left, okay? There's only, because we got the garden already, that belongs to Robert. There's only rainbow and pyramid. If Laura didn't get the rainbow, that means she got the pyramid. So we tick the pyramid for Laura. And that leaves only Shannon to get the rainbow. So all that one's done. Now the last clue says Robert's bookmark was not printed on pink paper. So Robert's design did not get printed on pink paper, which means that his design must have been the green paper. Alright. Now also, now that we have this, we only have two left to go, okay? Now the The second clue is going to help us to get the remaining one. The pyramid bookmark was printed on gold. The pyramid bookmark was owned by Laura and was printed on gold. So that means that the gold is belonged to Laura as well. And that only leaves the pink to be Shannon's. And there's your answer there. I don't need to use this one here. Alright, next page. Last page. Cross multiply. Okay, so we got a 3-meter tree. So I'm gonna put tree and the shadow. 3-meter tree casts a 6-meter shadow. If another tree casts an 18-meter shadow, how long is the shadow? How tall is the tree? Now, normally this is a very simple question. You can think, oh, look at this. From the shadow is 3 times longer, which means that the tree must be 3 times taller. So this will be 3 times 3, which is 9. That's the answer straight away. Okay. But because this question says to do this using cross multiply, we're going to use a cross multiply method. So here's what we're going to do. I'm going to put this as an unknown number. We don't know it yet. And now we're going to cross multiply. So we're going to say, let me just rub this out. Okay. So we're going to say 3 times, sorry, let me just change that. We're going to say 6 times unknown number, so these two, right, is going to equal to 3 times 18. That times that. 3 times 18 will give you 48. So 6 times, hold on, 3 times 20, 54, no, not 48, sorry. This will be 54. So 6 times something is equal to 54. And we can just do, well, to get that something, we just do 54 divided by 6, and that will give you 9. So therefore, you still get the answer to 9 as well. Alright, question B. Ellie worked for 6 hours, so let me just say that's, she worked, so how many, so we're comparing hours to how much she gets paid. If she worked for 6 hours, she gets, and she earns $240. How much will she earn if she worked 9 hours? Okay, 9 hours. So now we can use cross multiply, but you know what? Let's just use a simple way. Let's just say that from 6 to 204, let's get to 1 hour. So if we take 240 divided by 6, okay, we divide by 6, divided by 6, you're gonna get $40. So 1 hour, Ellie gets $40. So how much does she get in 9 hours? So work it out, 9 times 40. How much money does she get in 9 hours? Okay, so because this question is quite simple, I'm not going to use cross multiply. I'm just going to do this one. For every $5 AU dollars, we're going to have 15 US dollars. So AU, US. $5 is equal to 15 US. So that means you can see here that it's we multiply by 3 to get that one. Now, if I have, how many American dollars can I exchange for 4 AU dollars? So 4. What's this one here? Well, just times it by 3. Get a simple answer. Sometimes the question is just so simple, we just use a simple method and get the answer. Okay. You can still use cross multiply. Okay, it still works. You can say 4 times 15 is equal to 5 times something. 4 times 15 is 60. 60 is equal to 5 times what? Well, 5 times 12. And this answer should be 12. Or you could say 4 times 3, and that gives me 12 as well. Question 2, the workload. Alright, we got men's. We're comparing men's and days. If you have 5 men, it takes you 4 days to build a toy car. How long would it take you to? How long would it take 10 men? Now we have double the work, the amount of people. So the work's gonna get done faster. How much faster? It's gonna be half as fast. Sorry, it's gonna be twice as fast. So it's gonna be, the number of days should be halved. So if we times it by 2, we divide it by 2, here you're gonna get 2. Question B. You got men's and days again. So I'm gonna put it into columns. It takes 6 men 7 days. Now how long would it take 21 men? So again, 21, we times it by 3, that means we do what here? Oh, sorry, hold on, 6 to 21. No, that's not times by 3. I was thinking 7 times 3 is 21. That's incorrect. 7 days. Okay, so 21. So we want to get to 21 men. And how many days is that? Okay, so let's go. How do we go from 6 to 21? They're both divisible by 3, isn't it? Okay, so what we do is we go to 3. 6 we go down to 3, and we're going to divide it by 2 to get from 6 to 3, right? So we're going to double it. We're going to times it by 2. You're going to get 14 days. So 3 people will be 14 days. Now, from 3 to 21, we times 7. So obviously we're going to do the opposite and divide it by 7. Now for the workload, just make sure, just remember that if you times by a number, you divide it by the number. It's just the reverse. So same here. See, I divide by 2, I times 2, I times 7 divided by 7. It's the reverse. So that means 14. So we do 14. You can see here 14 divided by 7. You're gonna get 2. So it's gonna take you only 2 days if you have 21 people. All right, question 9. C. You got pigs and a number of days. If you have 4 pigs, it takes 9 days to eat all the food in the sty. How long would it take for 6 pigs? So you want to get to 6 pigs, and how many days? Well, let's get to 2 pigs first, because 4 and 6 can be can be divided by 2. So let's go to that and then go to that. So you know what to do here. Okay, so this one is divided by 2. This one is times 3. So what we do is we do the reverse. We times it by 2 divided by 3 and get the answer. Get the final answer there. Alright, I think that's the last page. Yep. Okay, hope that helps.